What's going on, YouTube? It's your guy Sky. So within the field of health, wellness, and especially fitness, macros might just be one of the hottest topics. Such a hot topic that many diets and influencers have based their entire ethos around a specific macronutrient ratio. And there's even this idea of if it fits your macros dieting. In a nutshell, this allows people to create a macronutrient ratio that they want based on really whatever, and then eat pretty much anything that fits that criteria. Are you a gym bro that wants to get jacked? Eat more protein. Want to slim down for summer? Eat more protein. Want to feel more satiated and full? I guess you just eat more protein, right? Want to fix your marriage, heal all your diseases, and discover the secret to life, the universe, and everything? It's 42, by the way. Turns out people will find a reason to eat more protein whether it's actually beneficial or not.
Yo, bro, this casserole you made is freaking bomb, man.
Hey, thanks, man. I made it myself.
And I can't believe it's got so much protein in it, too.
Oh, yeah, the secret's in the sauce.
Bro, you gotta tell me this recipe.
Oh, I don't know about that. It's kind of one of those recipes that you might not want to know what's in it.
Oh, come on, man. It's gonna make it so easy to hit them macros and make them gains.
Okay, well, if you say so, it's human feces.
Oh, bro, I don't think I feel so good.
Oh, not in the casserole! Ah, dang it, I worked so freaking hard on that. Okay, so maybe it never got that bad, but it's clear that this idea can quickly become a justification for pretty much eating whatever you want. And while it's good not to feel overly restricted around food, there are way better ways to achieve the same result. As somebody who's struggled with body image and disordered eating, I understand why this is popular. But when people are eating a whole quart and a half of ice cream and telling themselves they're making a good decision, I think there's a little bit of a problem. Oh, and yeah, that's a real thing I saw in college, believe it or not. By the way, if you've made it this far into the video, go ahead and give the video a like and subscribe. A lot of people think they do, but sometimes they just forget. Anyway, it's understandable that we might want to communicate about nutrition using macronutrients because that's how it's studied a lot of the time. But in the process, we usually lose a lot of information about what we're actually eating. Carbs could mean baked goods or blueberries. Fat could mean frying oil or flax seeds. See the problem? You see, focusing on macronutrients is really good for big business, food corporations, and fitness influencers alike. And the cherry on top of all that is people eat it up. Pun not intended. But I guess I kind of like it, so yeah, pun intended now. The saying, people like to hear good news about their bad habits, really applies here. It's incredibly convenient for food companies, particularly processed ones, to market themselves as more healthful than they actually are by putting buzz terms on the box. And advertising companies know this, and they exploit the heck out of it. Hence why you see terms like high protein, low fat, zero sugar on all sorts of processed foods. They get people to buy more. It's almost too simple to be true, right? But if you think you're not influenceable by marketing, think again. In fact, lots of the times, it might be the case that the more you think that you can't be fooled by marketing, the more specific types of marketing can actually fool you. And guess what? Advertisers know and exploit that too. It's just good business. Who could blame them? Alright team, sales on our non-GMO, organic, grass-fed, pasture-raised, low-carb, low-fat, high-protein, eco-friendly chicken nuggets have been plummeting. We need ideas and fast.
Hey boss, how about we hire a professional athlete and put him on the box and we could say he likes it or something?
That's genius! Write that down! Write that down!
Oh, and we could put a cheap toy in it so kids beg their parents for it.
Oh, that's perfect! Ship it!
Oh, and be sure to make the box out of apparently recycled material. Oh, and make sure it's the color green. Health-conscious parents love the color green. I guess it reminds their primitive brains of, I don't know, vegetables or something. See, we're here arguing online about low carb this, low fat that, and I guess protein's over here just being this angelic little nutrient that can do no wrong. Totally not true, by the way. And while this is happening, we're not getting any healthier in the process, and food companies are just raking in the profits of our ignorance. See, the reason I made this video in the first place is because I had an individual at my church ask me what kind of macronutrient ratio I used to reverse the process of my autoimmune condition. And my answer definitely surprised her. I really have no idea. Like, macronutrients definitely play a role, but they're never the focus. Maybe when I do some resistance training, I'm a little more conscious to eat some more protein-dense foods afterwards, but it's really never the focus, and it feels way better that way. However, for those curious, since I eat a whole food plant-based diet, that diet naturally ends up being relatively higher carb, moderate protein, and lower fat. But here's the thing, as soon as I label my diet with terms like that, it instantly turns some people off, like a light switch. The general public is so obsessed with macronutrients that they can make split-second decisions about what they think about a diet based on just how many carbs or something it has.
You don't deserve them. You eat carbs, for Christ's sake. Carbs.
A fixation on macronutrients is what makes diabetics so scared of carbs, or young men so insistent on unhealthy amounts of protein. A prime example of this fixation on macros is low-carb circles. Within these circles, there's an entire rhetoric about how America went low-fat in like the 70s and 80s, and it pretty much failed us because, well, if you look at the statistics, we didn't get any healthier. But here's the thing, we never actually went low-fat as a country. We simply marketed ourselves as low-fat. When you take a look at USDA statistics of what Americans were actually eating, we didn't eat less fat. We actually ate more fat. In fact, we actually ate more of, well, just about everything, actually. But you could certainly be sure that there was an array of low-fat snack foods in a bunch of American cupboards. I almost never think about macronutrients on a day-to-day basis, because that's just not the important thing. The important thing is the overall pattern of what your diet looks like, because that's the thing that really matters. If there was a thesis statement to this video, it might go like, don't focus on food, parts, and constituents. Focus on real food. And here's the real nail in the coffin. Think about this. The longest lived, healthiest populations in the world, like the Icarians, Sardinians, and Okinawans, really didn't have an idea about macronutrients or any modern nutritional concepts. On the other hand, the countries that focus on macronutrients the most happen to have the highest rates of chronic disease. Is it any wonder? So in conclusion, can macronutrients be helpful? Certainly, in specific circumstances. Are they an important part of our modern understanding of nutrition as a whole? Also, yeah, but they're very limited in their application due to the amount of information that's lost in translation and the way that marketing and advertising companies kind of hijack them. So for the average person wanting to be healthier, leaner, or fitter, for example, stop focusing on macronutrients. It's really just a waste of time, and it's also just a distraction in most cases. So to simplify, focus on eating real food. Don't sweat it. See, when it comes to food, the emerging science is fairly clear. The whole is often better than the sum of its parts. Well, I hope you got something out of this. As always, if you got any value out of this video, please consider adding value back to my channel by liking, commenting, and hitting the subscribe button down below. It helps my channel out, puts it out to more people that might really need it. I'm not a fan of long outros, and I've also got dinner waiting, so I will see you guys very soon, and God bless.